So imagine you have to take a fall. You have no choice. And you have two options on how you're going to land with this fall. Either A, open hand, or B, closed fist. Which one do you choose? If you chose A, it will hurt, but it's not going to cause damage. That's going to take a long time to overcome. If you chose B, closed fist, you can bust up your fist, you can break your hand, you can fracture something. Worse can happen. I learned that whenever you have to deal with any type of impact, it's easier to deal with it if you relax versus if you tense up. Football players know that far well, more than anybody else. Also, anyone who's ever been a victim of a car accident. So, option A represents walking through life with God. Yes, it will hurt. Yes, you cannot avoid a situation. But when you deal with the situation, you will notice that it does not hurt as much as it could have. You will also notice that that giant doesn't look like Goliath no more when you have to face it again. You're more willing to deal with the situation when you see it. You know how to deal with the situation better. On the other hand, option B, stress, trying to handle it on your own. It can cause someone so much discomfort and so much residual damage that it's not just physical, it's also psychological. That is what causes people to sometimes be paralyzed and not take action. They try to drink the obligation away, to forget, or smoke it away, drug it away, sex it away, entertain it away, right? I wrote a book called Entrepreneurship Through the Lens of a Barber. Because one thing that I know for sure is that 80 to 90% of our problems will always be solved if we just simply choose to take action. One of the issues that I know is when people constantly ask, how did you do this? How did you do that? Every situation could be different. People's testimonies are not the same, right? You know that you're going to fall, but how you get back up again, how you deal with that fall, how you trust God, those stories are going to sound a little different. So in the book, I wrote principles. If I follow this principle, I know that I can figure it out, because this principle is more valuable than someone else's strategy or tactic, right? So if you're a person that you have a gift, something that you can just do well, and everybody has something that they can do well, even if it's your job and you don't place value in that job, right? Everyone has something that they can do well. There is a greater need where you can affect more people, causing you to receive more income for that, right? You just need to know how to do it. So one of the things that I notice is that if you can get someone to 6 figures in their business and their entrepreneurial journey, and then show them how to do it easy. Yes, you have to work, but show them how to make the system easier, where they can do it and still spend time with their family. They can do it and still live a life, right? Then it's easier to scale from that standing point. So the book is also dedicated to teach through the principles how to run your business properly. What are the things that I need to consider and keep at the front of my mind every month? Because life changes, but the foundation of what you do doesn't have to, right? So I wrote it where it's not a long read. It's something where you can read it once a month. For some of you, you might have to read it once a week because you have so much going on in your mind, right? And I have a digital copy where you can just pull it up on your phone, your computer, your iPad, if you're Google, your tablet, right? so you can constantly see it. Something good happens when something is done with repetition. It's harder to forget, right? And another cool thing is, because it's through the lens of a barber, it gives you the opportunity, especially if you're in a different industry, to see, okay, how did he use these principles over here, and how can I use it in what I do? One of the coolest things that entrepreneurs have the opportunity when they flex that gift of being able to think is they have the opportunity to see, how can I separate myself from my competition? How can I separate myself from my contemporaries and what I do? So one of the things that Kobe Bryant used to do is he would look at other art forms, look at people in other crafts. So he would study how to tell a storytelling. He would also study, it was like a form of dance, tap. He studied tap as well. And in studying those things, it helped to grow and benefit what he did as a basketball player. Because if you master something in one industry, you kind of understand what it takes and how it feels in the process, where someone has to go mentally if they're a master in their field. It's like a game recognized game situation, right? They just specialize in something else outside of what I specialize in, right? So the book is dedicated to anyone who, you know, when you're in your bag and you're passionate and you light up, when you're doing your thing, when you're serving others, but for whatever reason, you don't know how to monetize it, you don't know how to get paid. It's written for you as well. How do you study the market to see what's going on? How do I make the sales process easier for people? Because, you know, if I can make the sales process fast, people are going to actually click faster. They'll spend their money quicker. But if it's a long drawn out with too many steps, they might not commit to it, right? How can I make what I do easier? So many lessons, so many principles that once you apply it to what you do, you'll find that your situation will get better. How do I know? 80 to 90% of everything you do in your life is based on actually getting started first. Your work will never be in vain when you actually put effort towards it. Your work will never be in vain. Myron Golden talks about how all work works. It either works in you or on you. It works. All work works. Is it on the inside or the outside? But it's working. Romans 8:28. All things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. Everything, all work works. All things, everything works. You have to do the work though. And I get it. The analogy I gave earlier where you have to make a fall, look at that fall as an obstacle. Look at the fall as, this is the first time I had to create a cover for a book. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. Look at the fall as, this is the first time I had to make a online site for people to book my appointments. I have to go through this. But when I agree to go through this, relaxed and not tensed up with all these opinions that come from the back of my mind with no experience, right? When I come at this the right way and I get it done and I see I can do this, what happens the next time when it has to be done again? And then the next time when it has to be done again, it's easier. It's easier. It becomes easy. Everything that I was ever scared to do, I now laugh at. Why? Because I took the time to actually try. I took action. Get the book. It's going to help you. Digital copies coming out this week. All right, look for the link. Look for the link. Look for the link. This post is just to get you ready to receive. I'm out. I love you guys. Bye.